Hi everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard, and a couple months ago somebody asked me if I could review the KelTec P17. Well, a couple months ago it wasn't out on the shelves, but guess what I got now? Let's open this box up and see what's inside it. Alright, inside the box we've got a couple KelTec stickers. We've got the owner's manual, safety instructions and parts manual. We've got 1, 2, and in the gun 3 magazines. Little protective oil paper there to keep the slide from getting rusty. It also has a barrel adapter or a threaded adapter for a suppressor if you've got one. If you've got enough patience to wait for one and you want to get one, there it is. It does come with a little 2-piece lock that goes into the trigger guard there with a little key and a screw and everything to lock it down in there. Now, let's take a look at the firearm itself. We got the little warning on here talking about safety, child locks and all that. We'll go ahead and get that peeled off there because it'll just get in the way when we're out shooting. It has a chamber flag in it. We'll go ahead and pull the slide back, get the chamber flag out of there. I've got a magazine in it right now. So there's the 3rd magazine. It is unloaded. There's nothing in it. I have previously cleared the weapon. It's a simple direct blowback 22. They call it the P17, but it's kind of misleading, I think, because it's a 16 round magazine plus 1 in the chamber. So it should be the P16. Either way, let's take a look at taking it down. Put it on safe, which there's your safety selector right there. Oh, another thing I want to point out on here is the magazine release. It is ambidextrous. It's on both sides. Now, it's not a button you'd press with your thumb, but it is a lever you have to push down. Or you can take your trigger finger and push down on this side, and it'll come out. With a lever like that, I kind of like using my trigger finger to do it because it's a little harder. It's kind of far forward, and I got pretty good sized hands too. It's kind of hard to get it in there without rolling the gun in your hand a little bit and then pushing it down. But we'll get the magazine out. We've got to put it on safe, and to take it down, they call this, the little takedown lever there, they call it a buffer. So what you're going to do is, it's kind of odd the way you really need to hold this, because you need to hold that buffer down while you're pulling the slide all the way back. And then it just lifts up, and you can lift it up really high and let the slide go forward. That's it. The slide, this is a hardened steel piece on the top there that guides it on the barrel. There is a bushing on the barrel that goes in. This is your slide. There's your extractor. Your firing pin is in there. This is a hammer fired gun. So your hammer is right down here, and you can see a little red button or part on the back there. Go ahead and release the hammer. Take it off safe. And there's the hammer right there. It's a little short nubby hammer, but it hopefully does the trick anyways. You have to get that pulled back down to be able to put the slide back on. We'll go ahead and put it back on safe. But that's it. That's the complete disassembly of this thing. That's as far as KelTec recommends you disassemble it anyways. You can get in here and clean up the feed ramp, clean the barrel out. Your recoil spring is on your barrel. There's a small bushing there on the front, which is where the front of your slide goes in there. And that kind of guides your slide so it doesn't scrape up your barrel or anything. So remember, when you go to lubricate this thing, you'll want to get that on there, pull it back, and put a little lubrication on the barrel for that slide too. You've got a couple little pieces back here where your bolt rides back and forth in those grooves. You've got a deeper groove in there where your ejector rides down in there. So you'll want to get a little bit of lube on the ejector itself, which is this little piece right in here. Kind of sticks up there and points to the front. Get a little lube on that, get a little lube on your slide pieces there, a little lube on the barrel, and put the thing back together. It weighs pretty much nothing. I think the fully assembled gun weighs about 10 ounces or somewhere around there. To put it back together, it's just the reverse of it. Go ahead and hook your slide back on the front there. And again, I'm right-handed. You need to pull that buffer down as you're putting this on. So when you pull it back, pull your buffer down, pull it all the way back till your bolt clears those 2 little lugs right there. Make sure your extractor is lined up on there. You're going to have to push down just a little bit. There's a little spring in there that's putting a little tension on it. It's actually the hammer is pushing back up on here a little bit. So put that on, pull it back, hold your buffer down so it goes all the way in, and then let it go forward. Don't let it slam forward. They recommend not doing that, not slamming forward on an empty chamber under its own power anyways. So let it go forward easily. Go ahead and function check it. It works. It's a rim fire. You really shouldn't dry fire rim fires, and you'll notice I do not have a magazine in there, so it is capable of firing without a magazine in it. Let's go ahead and get a magazine. Actually, we'll get all three of them. We'll get them loaded up with some Winchester 40 grain 22 long rifle, 1300 feet per second. Now in the manual it does recommend you use only high velocity ammo in this, but we'll get this thing out to the saloon, give it a few shots, give it a try. All right, now the magazine does not have any kind of knob or anything, assist lever on there that you can pull it down with, and they're a completely polymer magazine other than the spring, and they're really lightweight. Loading them is really not a problem. It's just about like any other rimfire magazine you got. You'll load 16 rounds in this one, and 16 rounds in all of them, and then you got one extra one for the chamber. Make sure that you don't get the rims crossed up. You don't want to get one on the back side, which is kind of hard to do anyways, because there's a portion on there where it's a little bit wider, right where the rim can go through there, and then you slide it back. You don't have to worry about locking the rims together. All right, we're out here in the saloon. I've got all three magazines loaded up with the Winchester, and I brought another box of some Winchester M22 that I kind of want to get rid of. They're a little less velocity. These are 1255. I think these were 1280, somewhere around there. Not that much difference. I think they're still considered high velocity. But we're going to go ahead and shoot these three magazines full of the regular Winchester high velocity that I got in there, and then we'll try some of those. But let's see how this thing performs. This will be the first shots. I did take it out of the box. I did clean it up. I made sure the bore was unobstructed. I put a little bit of frog lube on it because that's my favorite. And we're going to give it a few shots and try it out. Here's one of the cool things I noticed about the magazine on there is there's a little, I guess, follower on the inside there. And right at the bottom, you'll see that little horizontal line. The round button there is your takedown pin for the magazine. So you can push that in and pull the floor plate off and the spring out and clean your follower up. But there's this little tab right here. And when you put it, when it's full, it's going to show, it's going to stick out of the bottom just a little bit. And when you put it in the gun, push it all the way in, you'll see it sticks down considerably farther. Now, as you fire the rounds, that's going to retract inside there. But that lets you know, that's a good indicator there's a full magazine in there. Let's go ahead and get one chambered. I've got a target set up here at the 7 yards, and we're going to see how that does. Take it off safe, and we'll give it a try. All right, I'm just going to do the 5 shots there. We'll go ahead and clear it. We'll go up there and take a look at that target. Okay, there's my first 5 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, 7 yards, I'm kind of aiming toward the middle there, mostly concentrating on whether or not it's functioning or malfunctioning. But we're going to give it a few more shots and see if we can't get a little better accuracy. I'll probably go for this upper left target. We'll see how that does. All right, let's look at those 5 real quick. All right, right there's my second 5-shot group. I had one there, that was my first shot. My other 4 ended up right there. Nice little group. I'm offhand shooting this, so probably where I was aiming and where my sight picture was didn't quite agree. But it does have adjustable sights. Let's take a look at that real quick. All right, now in this little bag that came in there, that's got your muzzle adapter there, threaded barrel adapter. There are 3 items in that bag. You've got a wrench for your thread adapter, and you've also got this little Allen wrench. This little Allen wrench right here fits in your sight. This screw on the top here is for your windage. So you just put it in there, it is spring loaded, so you adjust it one way or the other, and that sight will move back and forth. Your other one for elevation is right in here, and you'll notice this is kind of spring loaded right here. It'll rock back and forth a little bit. So all you do to adjust it is put your Allen wrench down inside there, and there's a screw in there that you can turn one way or the other. Now, that last group was not bad. It was a little low. I'm shooting at 7 yards. I'm not going to adjust it right now. I want to get a lot more familiar with it before I do that. Your first few shots could, you know, till the barrel gets warmed up or broke in or whatever, it might be a little bit different. So I'm going to leave it right where it is right now, and we're going to go ahead and finish this magazine and load the other two up and see how it does for reliability. All right, I've got 6 more rounds in this magazine. And now it is supposed to lock open on the last round. That one did not. That time it did lock open on the last round. There was 16 rounds there. Got kind of close to it. All right, I've got a box of these Winchester M22s. They are 40 grain, 1255 feet per second. We're gonna load up a magazine or two of these things and just do some rapid fire magazine dump type things and you know, see how it does. It's just a little lighter velocity than the other Winchesters I had in there. So it should function fine. There's been no issues. I mean, I've only run 3 magazines through it, but no issues with any misfires, light primer strikes, no failure to feeds, no failure to extract. So, you know, so far I think it's a pretty fun little gun anyways. And you don't get too bored with 16 rounds in there, or 17, whatever you want to do. It's not like there's too many, and it's not like there's not enough. Now, the purpose for this gun is, I mean, you can carry a 22 for personal protection if you prefer, if you'd like to, but you know, there's going to be a lot of people say that a 22 is not effective for personal protection, but really it's better than nothing, I guess, better than the rock. A lot of people don't like KelTec guns. I do. I really like them. Yes, they are polymer. They are made in the United States. They are innovative guns. Just about everything KelTec makes is different than what anybody else makes. And that's the cool thing I like about them, because, I mean, you can look at a gun and see, well, that is a KelTec. Some of them you have to look at and you have to read the label on it and see what it is, because I'm not sure what the brand is, because they all look just alike. KelTec guns all have signature features on them. They all have a different look. You can always tell the grips on there. KelTec always uses this kind of square gator pattern, they call it. Yes, they're polymer guns. They've been around for a while and they're pretty good guns. But anyways, we're going to get a couple of these loaded up and give it some tries. Neat thing about when you're loading these, if you got your hand on the magazine like that and you go to push the round in there, you can feel when it's full, because that little follower right there touches the palm of your hand, so you can say, hey, I'm full. No counting necessary. All right, let's dump some mags. Ha! Wouldn't you know it? Got one. Now it is a hammer fired. There's no second strike capability on it. But let's pull it back and see what happened. There was a failure to feed right there. Let's try this again. Another one. Another failure to feed. And it emptied the magazine but did not lock open. Let's try another one. I did have that one time before on the first magazine. It just locked the mag open. Lock the mag open again. Empty magazine, lock the mag open, which is what it's supposed to do. Now, could that be because this is a little lighter or a little less velocity than the other ammo I was firing in there? That is a possibility. Failure to extract there, so let's lock this open and clear the magazine. See if it'll fire. All right, that already did fire. No, that round did not fire. It does have a pretty good hit on the rim there, so could it be a bad round? Absolutely could be. Let's feed this one round to one of the empty magazines. Let's see if it was just a bad round. Maybe that spot in the primer wasn't any good, but I don't know if you heard that. That was that empty case spinning around in the seat of a chair there. All right, let's give it a try with the rest of this third magazine. Was one round left. It's all clear. Now, there were a couple of issues there. A couple times it locked the slide back, which I'm not sure why it would have done that. And there was, what, one failure to feed? Let's try a few more of those and see how they do. All right, I've got 3 more mags loaded up, again with the Winchester M22s, and we'll see how these do. .16, locked open. .16, locked open again. See if we can go 3 for 3. Three for 3, 16 rounds in each magazine. It did lock open on the end of each one of the magazines, and no issues whatsoever that time. I like it. It's a KelTec. Some of you don't like them. I like this one. I really do. It's a pretty small size. It's really lightweight. Recoil is not excessive, I would say, but you feel it in your hand a little bit, but it's definitely not unmanageable. It does have a little piece of a Picatinny rail right there on the front in case you want to mount a laser or flashlight or whatever, but and like I said, it's also got a barrel adapter, a threaded adapter, so you can, that's hot, you can put a suppressor on it if you'd like to. It's a pretty cool little gun. It almost looks like the PMR's baby brother. Anyways, that's my look at the KelTec P17, and in my opinion it should be called the P16 because 16 round magazines, they call it 17 because it's 16 plus 1. But you're only going to do that on your first magazine anyways. Anyways, I like the looks of it, I like the feel of it, I like the way it shoots, the little fiber optic front sight on it, adjustable for windage and elevation on the rear sight. Really kind of a minimalist gun. It's a little warm. Takedown is really easy on this thing. It is empty right now, and you can do it without, you know, needing any tools or anything, and that's it. That's the whole takedown right there. Piece of cake. I like it, and I would like to thank you for taking a look at the P17 with me. If you could, hit this button up here to check out some of my other videos. Hit this little button right here to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for taking a look at the KelTec P17 22 pistol.